Hey, it's Amelia. Today I'm doing the first part of the rest of my first round of throwing shade for week 6 through 9. I filmed a video already for this months ago, and I just didn't like the way it came out, so I put it on my to-do list to refilm it, and that hasn't happened yet. So I'm doing it today. All of the eyeshadows that I'm going to be talking about I've used for the month of January, I believe, at least once. There might be one or two shadows I haven't used. So I'm going to tell you the thoughts and the notes I wrote down from when I did throwing shade and some thoughts from this month. So the first palette I'm talking about is Visiart Cashmere. What's different now compared to when I did throwing shade is I finished the lightest matte shade, which is not numbered or named. So I just call it 1 through 3 and 4 through 6. So I finished number 1. My favorite shadows from here are number 3, 4, and 6. And that's been my favorites since I got it. But in my notes, I wrote that the middle shimmer, number 5 here, is actually a good transition shade for when I use this shade, number 4, all over the lid with a light brown in the outer corner. So it has a purpose. And then this shade is good quality, so I just use it anytime I do a warm eye look. I'm sorry if it's not in frame. I really like Visiart mattes. I think they're comparable to the Anastasia mattes, which I'm talking about in my next video, which I'm going to film after this. I like these shimmers because I like the colors, but I wouldn't consider the shimmers something you need to buy. If you are going to buy from Visiart, I would either try a smaller palette or I would recommend getting the matte palettes. I would not recommend the shimmer palettes. They're very natural. They're more like satins, but not... When I have other satins in my collection, when I think about them, I think more about something that doesn't have a lot of sheen. And these are like that, but they still shine more than most of my satins. And they do this weird thing where they're not sheer eyeshadows, but when the light isn't directly hitting them, you can see your skin through it, which is interesting. Maybe that is what a sheer shadow is, but I feel like it's not. It doesn't remind me of what sheer shadows I've had in the past are like. So, I don't know. They're very natural looking if you're someone who likes that. I know women with more mature, or people with more mature skin sometimes prefer satins and mattes over shimmers and glitters, so maybe something like this would be good for that purpose. My next palette is Urban Decay Smoked, which I have the empty palette back here somewhere. The last 4 shadows, it was a tin pan palette. The last 4 are here. I did makeup trading a long time with my friend who has the same palette a long time ago. So I ended up with 2 pans of Mushroom. And I had 2 pans of Barlust, but I finished one. So I have 1 Barlust, 2 Mushroom. Evidence is a blue that looks just like this one, but I mixed it with a bunch of other shadows. So I used most of this orangey shade, and I used a little bit of a shadow from another palette. So right now it's sort of a purple-orange duochrome. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. And I really love Barlust. In my notes I just wrote, I love Barlust, I like Mushroom, not love it though, and Evidence is not a favorite. And those are pretty much my same thoughts. I did grab for Barlust this month of January. I did not use Mushroom at all, I don't think. That's something that I'm just going to pan at some point, and I have a close enough dupe to Barlust that it's sad that I can't get it again, but I'm fine. I'm not going to die without it, I have plenty of dark browns. Next I have miscellaneous, which is kind of all over the place. So I have these 3 shadows here, 2 from Anastasia, 1 from Kat Von D. Then I have this Kat Von D single in Synergy, which I got for my birthday of last year, 2018. This, I noted that I need to layer the warm tones, this one and these 2 shadows here, which are Anastasia Adorn and Antique Bronze. I sort of have to layer them with other things to make them how I want them to look, because I don't particularly like warm tones. And then I like Twinkle. However, this month I re-wore it for a purple eye look, and I noticed it fades by the end of the day. So when I first put it on, it's sort of like not a super shimmery metallic shimmer, but a shimmer purple. Like, it looks just like this, but almost a little powdery, because the purple isn't as strong as like this whitish reflect. It's not even really a silver reflect. It's sort of just white. And by the end of the day, it looks like I have a purpley pink undertoned shadow. It looks more like it looks like the one in the Visiart palette, but the dupe for it would be Anastasia Vermeer, which is just like a pale pink. It's like that color, but like there's a hint of purple to it, which is not something I love. And that's using it over glitter glue. I don't know if using it without a glitter glue would be better, maybe, and maybe that's why I saw a difference this time. But my overall thoughts is none of these miscellaneous shadows are something I would get again. The Kat Von D one is actually a really good formula. Well, not a really good. It's a decent formula. I have other shimmers that I feel like are better. It actually swatches really nice, but it doesn't go on the eye quite like how it swatches. And I don't buy from Kat Von D anymore. So those are kind of just like, whatever. Lastly, I have my Stila glitters. This one is still not open. This is Smoky Storm. I really need to use up some shadows and get to that. Stila Diamond Dust. If you can see, there's like a huge gap where the product was. I need to take the stopper out and use this, but the problem is if I take out the stopper, it'll dry out quicker. But I'm having a hard time using it with the wand when the stopper's in it, so I'm gonna try and use my spatula, which is, I don't know where, it's like my skinnier one, and see if I can get it through the hole of the stopper, because it's about the thickness of the wand. The other Stila glitter I have in, I don't know. I don't remember what this Stila glitter is called. I'm sure I'll think of it after I film this. It dried up, so I depotted it into this pan. I added vitamin E oil to it, and it was a vitamin E and something else mixed oil. It was too thick of a consistency, so it didn't revive the glitter. It more just sort of fucked it up. I could have used jojoba oil, but I didn't own that until recently. So instead, I scraped it out, repressed it with alcohol, and now it works fine. You can see there's kind of like a part that's coming up. I have to scrape it out kind of with a brush. So I go in with a flat shader brush from Urban Decay or whatever I have on hand, and I sort of just stab my brush into it, and it works fine. The only problem is now I have to use a glitter glue with it, and the brown underneath is gone. It's just a silver glitter. But this is a better alternative to throwing out a Stila glitter that's like getting dried up like this one is when there's a ton of glitter left. Actually, this, I don't know why I can't hold this properly. This filled this pan and a smaller pan about this size. It didn't fill the smaller one, but there was a decent amount. So I later panned that pan and have been working on this one. But wearing glitter every day isn't appropriate for most work environments, and I've been I've been volunteering, which is free work, whatever. I've been working while I've been home from school. And when I'm at school, I don't wear glitter to class. So it's like a weekend thing. But some weekends, I don't want to put glitter on. I did notice the steel glitters that are still in the tube, they don't fall out as much as the other one does. So that's a problem. It's like cleaner, so the one in the pan is a little trickier to use. Also, I've become concerned with the fact that glitters are microplastics recently. I didn't know what that meant before. I knew that there was like those little beads that were in exfoliating pads that are now like not allowed to be used in shower gels and stuff. I don't know if that's a state to state or a countrywide law now or whatever, but glitter is basically microplastics. My dad actually forwarded me a New York Times article about it, about glitters, so I might link that in the description. My current thought is if I'm going to wear glitter, take it off with micellar water on a cotton round and get rid of it that way. But I'm going to be honest, most of the time, if I'm doing a full beat of makeup with glitter and everything, I'm most likely to just get in the shower and rinse off my face. So that's just something that I need to work on for myself to be better about, because the environment is important to me. And the only note I had for that one is I love it, but if it's over a year old, it's going to be dried out. My advice would be do not buy more than one steel of glitter at a time. However, the reason I actually wanted diamond dust is because smoldering satin, that's what it was. At the time that smoldering satin was still decent formula, I put it all over the lid, and then I didn't really know what to put in the inner corner because it's a brown with silver, so I needed a silver for the inner corner. So I would actually go for a silver or gold that you can also put in your inner corner first. You can do whatever you want, but like I just don't want to put a brown in my inner corner. And then if you feel like you use it enough that you would be able to go through it, then buy another one to wear with it or separately. And yeah, that's everything for this throwing shade update. My plan is to do throwing shade on my Instagram while I'm at school for the spring semester, which ends in May. And on the weekends, I will post pictures of it on me, or just the picture of the eyeshadow and give my thoughts, or both. It sort of just depends what the lighting is like. And it is possible I could film. I'm redoing throwing shade, that's why I'm saying this. But if my thoughts aren't changing with my use of throwing shade, I'm not going to refilm a video repeating myself. So I hope that this is a decent enough video to go over these shadows. And if anything new comes up, I will let you know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.